guys, and welcome back to Panda Creates Tutorials. I'm Panda, and today I have the honor of testing out these new pigment pastes from LBB Resin. Now, full disclosure, I didn't pay for these. These were sent as a gift to give me the opportunity to try them out and give my honest opinion. I have used a couple before. If you saw my Star Child Designs review, which is about to pop up at the top here, I actually used a couple of these on the snake skull tray that I made in that video, but this is the official video where I give my opinion. So I have used a couple of these a couple of times. I did get sent this, so we're going to go through the colors first, and I'm going to explain which ones that I'm going to be using today. We start off with Bondi Blue, if you can see, it is a pearl paste. Next we have Jade. I'm actually going to turn my light off for a second to see if that makes it the true green that it is. Please focus. Because I don't know about you guys, but this is coming up blue on my screen, but it's definitely not blue. It is. Hang on, figure out where I've peeled already. It is green. Okay, it is like a proper jade green. I'll turn that on to see if that picks it up. I don't know. Hopefully that's coming up as green on your screen, because all I can see is blue. But that is Jade. This Jade is actually what I ended up with all over my hoodie. If you remember in that live that I did, where I was saying my hoodie is now my crafting hoodie and I have to buy a new one, that Jade was the culprit. This one is Warm Gold. Warm Gold. And this is Bright Gold. So they are, if you can see, Warm Gold is slightly darker. Okay. That is Bright Gold. This one is Pearl White. They are all pearlescent, so they will have a shimmer to them when you mix them into resin, or if you use them like we're going to use them today. We're just going to paint with them. Oh, sorry, this is Ballerina Pink, which again is coming up as a peach on my screen. So maybe if we... It's like a really pretty baby pink. So hopefully it's true to colour on your screen. That had... Wow, that's shiny. Ah, there we go. That's a bit better. So it's like a really pretty baby pink. Okay. This yellow is Pineapple Yellow. This one I haven't used yet, so we're going to open it for the first time on camera. Maybe. Maybe not. I should be wearing gloves. There we go. Ta-da! Pineapple Yellow. I'll get rid of that now. I will scrape that first. Okay, now we'll get rid of it. Pineapple Yellow. I'm true Aussie now, look. Got green and gold all over me. Okay, and the last one that I'm not going to demo tonight is called Bluebird, which, for those of you who have been around long enough, you will know LBB Resin used to be called Little Bluebird. go. Isn't that stunning? Blues and greens and purples, guys. They're my kind of colours. Alright, so what we are going to be doing, which is these 4 here. We're going to be using... Move everybody else out of the way. Real quick. And clean myself up before I go and touch the white cup. Actually, I might put gloves on. That might save any further heartbreak. Okay, what we are going to be doing for this demonstration, we are going to be using graphite, which is like a metallic silver, gunmetal grey. We are doing rose gold, right, which has a touch of pink to it, but not too much. We're doing teal, and we're doing plum purple, because as I just mentioned, blues, greens, and purples are my jam. But I thought it might be fun to do it in a herringbone pattern. Just because, why not? So, we are doing it on a 15-ounce skinny. I'm actually going to move you guys up a little bit just so I can fit that in frame. There we go, that's a little bit better, isn't it? Alright, I have already gone ahead. I'm going to show you up close. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Would you believe that that's not glitter? It's mica powder. I recently placed an order with Turn It Crafty. I got some pearls and some clays and some foils and stuff, which I'm going to be using in another video for a demonstration. But as a free gift, she sent me this mica powder. So I thought I'd try it out. Here, I'm going to turn the light off just so hopefully it focuses a little bit more. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? That'd be perfect for like a bride and groom couple or something. I was so impressed with that. But that is our base anyway. I mixed it into epoxy. And then obviously I've gone ahead and cut my herringbone pattern. That's what we're going to be doing with our mica powders. Now the the pigment paste, sorry, that we were, not mica powders, they're pigment pastes, that we already did on the skull tray. I painted them on. So tonight, oh look, I've already got her shirt. The whole point was to not get the colours all over, but here we are. So I thought tonight it might be fun if we, I can't do that with a glove. It's going to piss me off. We'll get there, guys. We're going to be using makeup sponges. Okay, so when I buy my makeup sponges, I cut them up and put them in a little drawer. So, because I use them for alcohol inks and stuff as well. So the pieces that I'm going to be using are like the edge, with the skinny edge and not the fat bit, to apply tonight. And I'm going to peel up my first rectangle. Now I did figure out that I wanted to go purple, then rose gold, then plum, then graphite. So actually let's start with the graphite and we'll work from that direction. So this is the graphite. This is what I used on the snake, the underbelly of the snake, on that tray that I keep mentioning. So all I'm going to do is, hang on, I'm going to turn this off. Let's focus. Okay, so I've pulled up my first part. I'm going to dip my sponge straight into my pigment paste, and I'm going to dab it on. Without going outside the line. Thought it would be fun to use a sponge, sorry, instead of a brush, just so I could get that texture. And now I'm wondering if this was the smartest way to go about it at all, because I've got to stay in the lines. And for somebody who's like me, that's exceptionally hard. See, but I wanted to create like that kind of texture. Oh, that's disappointing. Still, look, I mean, it's great coverage, but I had plans and they failed. Okay, well, you know what that means then. We'll go in with our paintbrush, but it means I'm going to have to do all the grey sections first, and then clean my brush and go back. Oh, that's alright. Work around it and you'll still get to see them in action. Just trying to blend out so it doesn't look. Ta-da! Once that focuses, that is graphite. Okay, so counting up, that'll be Plum. Actually, yeah, no, that's right. That'll be Plum. That'll be Rose Gold. That'll be Teal. That'll be Graphite. No, I've done that wrong. Hang on. No, I haven't. What's that old expression? Some days you're the windscreen and some days you're the bug. I think this is a bug kind of day for me, because nothing has gone right and continues to do so. Ah, there we go. Okay. Remembering to stay in the lines. Sorry guys, I get this I get this way, and I said this when I did the alcohol ink mini series when we were doing the Serape cup. I go really quiet when I'm concentrating. Like I cannot stay within the lines and have that level of concentration and maintain a conversation with you at the same time. So this may be a video that I end up adding backing music to, just to fill the awkward silence. Oh no! There we go. Tell you what, I hope nobody ever asked me to paint a house, man. We're getting there. Okay. So, 1, 2, 3. Here again. I'm going to try from the opposite direction this time, see if I have better luck. I'm going to take them both off at the same time. Okay. getting there, guys. Okay, so I really like, I like the fact that I could get that like textured cement look is almost what I was going for with the sponge. I like that it works well with textures. The pigment paste, I mean, works well with textures. I do like that it is easy to use in regards to painting on. I will be interested to see, because when I painted it onto the silicone mould, I didn't seal it or anything before I poured my resin over the top. So I will be interested to see if it holds, like obviously we're going to let this dry, but to see if it holds without sealing when I put it under. I'm using Diamond Coat from Just Resin at the moment for my tumblers, but it is a different resin to what I use for my molds. See if it stays put or if it goes running around the cup. I will still post the results either way because this is my honest review. So obviously if it turns out that you do need to seal your tumblers before putting epoxy on, then I'm going to mention that. But I'm just doing a herringbone because I thought, hey, that might be cool. So that is, I'm going to turn this back on so that you can see. That is an off again graphite. Wait for that to focus. Okay, so it's like a gunmetal grey or a really deep silver. I wouldn't consider it silver. It is called graphite. It's not called silver. But yeah, no, I wouldn't consider it. If it is silver, it is a really deep silver. Move this out of the way. Just because I was filming with it and doing it with my right hand the other day, and I ended up spilling the water everywhere. It's for a keep an eye out. I've got a makeup set in the works to do as a tutorial. But when I was filming for that the other day, I managed to knock because I was reaching over. Does that make sense? Anyway. Okay, so now we've done the graphite. That's plum purple. See, this is what I wanted to avoid. Getting it anywhere than where it's supposed to be. But it is an easy cleanup. Alright. This particular brand of removable vinyl that I'm using on this cup is not the usual brand that I use. My usual brand for both permanent and removable plain coloured vinyl is Metamark. So Metamark M4 is what I usually use for peekaboos and templates and stuff like that. I had none. I didn't have enough to do this template anyway. I've only got like tiny little bits and pieces that I can use for peekaboos. I like to do a peekaboo bit by bit. Yeah, and it's giving me the shits, I won't lie. Okay, so we're moving on to this plum purple. Actually, what I'm going to do first is take off without killing myself the rest of this vinyl. Breathe, Laura. Really is. I've had the worst luck today. I've just so much. You know how you just have those days where stupid shit goes wrong? Like, it's not even anything super major disaster worthy, but it's just constant stupid little things, and then by the end of the day you're so defeated's not the right word. You need time out from your bad luck. That's been my day. Just a series of unfortunate events all fucking day. There we go, she's done. Okay, so we're gonna work. Maybe I should put that light on because it drowns out, doesn't it? Maybe not. I'm getting really bad glare. Anyway. Plum purple. Which I also used on the tray for, I believe it was the tongue. So isn't that pretty? It's not a true purple. It is very much like a plum. It is pretty. I'm gonna have to turn it around this in a second, just so I can go at it from, remembering I'm left-handed. This way. Pretty. Ta-da! Once this dries, I will know whether I need to do a second coat. Okay, because I want that colour to be super solid. Against that white background. Because I'm now using a paintbrush and I'm the world's worst painter, there's a good chance that it'll need it. I just wanted to show both examples. Obviously the second example will be after the tumbler, of both using it to paint and what happens when you mix it into resin as well. Just to give an overall demonstration, because I know a lot of people that watch my channel now don't just do cups. I thought it might be good. There we go. Ta-da! Good to cover our bases, hey? Okay, last one. Okay, so that is Plum Purple with the light on. Turn that back this way. I do have a broken tripod. I'm waiting for my new one to arrive. So when I move the camera, I move the whole thing. Okay, that's the Plum Purple with the light on. Plum Purple with the light off. 2 down, 2 to go, guys. Wash my brush. Okay, so I'm going to do the teal and then I'm going to do the rose gold. First, we're going to pull off our pieces. One. Two. We were going so well as well. Maybe try from this angle, huh? Oh, come on, you little demon spawn of a pain in the ass vinyl. Come on. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. So now that that painful process is out of the way, for the second last time. Almost there, guys. This gorgeous teal. Oh. My brush is a bit wet, I think. I'm not gonna wipe my brush on my hoodie like I did my hands the first time I was using this one. There are going to be areas that I have to touch up. That much is painstakingly obvious, especially when I decide to go over a colour that I've already done with a different colour. See the graphite and the teal, and then it'll be the plum and the rose. I just think that's such a pretty combo. There is a piece here hanging on for dear life, but it's in my way. Okay, now we can continue. They're drying really quickly as well, which surprises me because I don't have my heater on in here tonight. There's nothing that I'm doing that involves resin tonight. It's all pigment paste or Mod Podge or... So I don't have my heater going. And it is still drying fairly quickly. I'm not going to know just how far over the lines I've gone until the little border in between each comes off. But I know there is a graphite section down the bottom that's going to need a slight touch up in one side because I went way over the line. I just did the same there. It's just going to be a little bit of teal floating out in the middle of nowhere. But that's okay. Once it comes off, I will go in with a little paintbrush and we'll fix up any spots that need fixing. Ta-da! Sexy combination, if I do say so myself. So that was the teal. Clean my brush. This time I'm going to use paper towel to dry it. Okay. Last go, guys. I'm going to pull it down. Finish up with the rose gold. Full disclosure, I'm not a rose gold person. I don't like gold. I don't like rose gold. I am very much a silver person. But my tastes are obviously changing. Having said that, because the amount of projects that, like either for tutorials like that geometric cup, and now I've picked rose gold again, or if customers give me free rein on an order, I've been gravitating a lot towards more like pinky rose golds than anything else. But it's definitely been a shift towards using them a lot more than I ever did before, because I tried to avoid it like the plague. Oh no! Got a little scrape mark in the plum, but we'll fix that up at the end. Alrighty, let's finish it off. I was a little bit worried that it would be too pale, that you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between that and the white going on behind it, but hang on, just let me even this up. You can definitely tell. So that's good. We're off to a good start. Finish. Start on the final colour. The worrisome colour. Which in hindsight I probably should have done first, because had this not worked out, that would have been a real pain in the bum to wipe off with all of the other colours on there. So, as is always the case, lucky I didn't need it this time, but the only 2020 vision I have is hindsight. It's really pretty though, look at that. So we've got the graphite and the teal, and then the rose and the plum purple. When I was trying to pick a color combination to do this cup, originally I was just going to do 2 colors, and then I thought, oh, let's see if we can do 3 colors. And then once the template went on and I realized that I could fit 4 colors with an even amount, because that's how my brain works. It has to work in patterns. Alright, but they all have exactly the same amount of airtime. Now no one color gets more attention than the others, which is what was happening with the 3. And I thought 2, you can't really do 2 with a herringbone, because you'd end up with all of this side as one colour and all of that side as the other colour. But it was a bit tricky trying to pick out of what I got 4 colours that would really, well, hopefully wow you guys enough that you go, ooh, I need them in my collection. And I think I've managed to pull that off, because that is a seriously wicked combo. Okay, we've got 2 more to go, and then I'll let it dry, and we will be back to remove the border lining and touch up any spots that need touching up before the first coat of resin. last one. It's just this tiny, tiny little one up here. Just went donk on your head. Sorry guys, I know I'm out of frame, but it's really, really small, and I'm casting a shadow over it with my big fat head, and I can't see, so I have it right up to my face so I can see. Okay, but there is what we have got so far. So, like I said, I'm going to let this dry. Once it's dry, I'll be back and we'll pull up, because just in case you guys weren't paying attention, there is actually if you have a look, what was that touching my computer? There is white vinyl still on there, which marks the lines in between. So when we pull that off, all of these rectangles will have a white border between it. Okay, which will give it, that just finishes off the look really. Why did that not come up? I just realised. This graphite square didn't get pulled all the way off. Okay. See, just up here, I forgot to peel this bit. This should extend up. Bit rude. Should have gone to Specsavers, Panda. Alright. Oh, now I'm just going to have this ugly. That's alright, we'll build it. Build it up. There we go. Okay, let it dry and I'll be back. Alright guys, the good news is that we are ready to do our first coat of epoxy on this design. The bad news is I did actually film, I'm going to stop my turner as it comes around so you can see. I did actually film my removal of the vinyl that was left. If you can see now, we've got the same white at the base as the rest of it. We've now got our line work back to make that proper herringbone pattern. The part where I peel off the vinyl and then go through and fix up all of the sections that need fixing up, if I drew outside the lines or anything like that, all of that I thought I filmed, but I didn't. And there's no going back now, so I'm just going to quickly explain. All I did was peeled off the vinyl. It was all one piece that went in all the different directions, so I peeled that off. There were some spots like on the outer side of the pattern where I knew that I could clean off, so I wasn't very careful. I went through and cleaned that off with a little bit of 99% pure alcohol on a little cotton tip. And then I went through and did the same thing as we did in the first part. Any little bits that were the wrong color, I just painted over so that it was all one solid pattern again. So I do want to apologize that you missed that, but it was a really simple cleanup, and all I needed to do was use alcohol on a cotton tip. Okay, I'm just going to push this down a little bit more. But this is, what, wrong way. Oh, I can't move it any further because of the lip on the table, so I'm going to move you guys. Sorry. There we go. I'm just trying to stay in frame. Okay, so we are up to putting epoxy on the cup. Now, as I mentioned in the first part that I recorded, I am going to put the epoxy straight over the top of this. This has been drying for about 24 hours now. I'm going to put the epoxy straight over the top. I have not sealed it. I just want to test to see if you do need to seal it or not. So we are either going to know straight away or won't know till tomorrow. Sorry, I'm just fixing up my paper so it doesn't fly up in the middle of the night and stick to my cup. We're going to see if we need to seal or not. I thought it would be a fun little experiment, so we will know soon enough. But if we do end up needing to seal, obviously that's going to be the end. This final coat is the end of the demonstration anyway, because all I was doing was showing off the colours and giving my honest opinion on them. The pastes themselves I really like. So I will give you an update tomorrow morning when I come back in as to whether we need to seal or not. It'll be pretty obvious if we do or don't. But if we do need to seal, my preferred way of sealing is using clear spray. I like the Rust-Oleum 2 times in the clear, either gloss or satin, depending on which one I can get my hands on. So, actually, before I begin, I'm just going to sneak in my little disclaimer, because we are going to be working with resin. Hi guys, a quick safety disclaimer for when working with resin. Please make sure you always protect yourself by wearing eye goggles or other protective eyewear, a half-face respirator mask with interchangeable filters. I got mine from Bunnings and they also sell the replacement filters. And of course, gloves. Now I prefer to work with nitrile gloves, but in a pinch, vinyl gloves will also work. These are the 2 types that will not tear easily when working with resin. Please make sure you stay safe while you're having fun, and happy creating. Okay, that's out of the way. And as has been the case for the past few videos of mine, for the past couple of months now, I am using Diamond Coat from Just Resin. It is a 1:1 ratio resin that is considered food safe, so you can use it for tumblers. I will link, as always, everything that I use. I will link down in the description. And so far so good, the colours aren't running. So it'll be interesting to see what happens as the epoxy starts to cure and it starts to heat up, whether they stay put. The only other piece of information I suppose I need to give you at this point in the demonstration is this is a 15-ounce skinny, and I mixed up 15 mils of epoxy. So that is 7.5 mils of part A, 7.5 mils of part B. Just making sure it's all well covered. I've just got this tiny little bit left in the container, so I'm just going to plop that on. That is that. Oh, they look really pretty under epoxy too. Oh, I really need to put my heat gun on some kind of stand, guys. Oh, I'm getting too old to be bending down sideways. Okay, I'm just going to hit it with heat real quick just so it levels out. And then we can have a proper look at what this looks like. I hate winter. I hate winter for a variety of different things, and since I've been doing this craft, it just adds to more reasons why I don't like cold weather. But there we go. Ta-da! Aren't they pretty? They've got so much pigment to them. I'm very impressed. And these are LBB Resin branded, right? So they're not a brand that LBB resells. It is LBB Resin pigment paste. Which, I mean, I don't mean to speak badly about in-house brands. A lot of stuff that I use has been in-house brand, and it's always a great surprise as to the quality. So I don't mean it in a bad way. It's just sometimes it's a bit hit and miss with in-house brands, isn't it? Sometimes you're onto a winner, which is what these are. I really am impressed by these, and sometimes then we don't get the result that we got with these. So yes, I am pleasantly surprised. Would buy again. Will buy more. I haven't got the whole collection. Oh, here's another one that I got as well, which I didn't use, which I found today. It is from their fluoro range. Oh, I haven't opened it. I don't want to open it. But if you can see in there, it is a fluoro orange. They have a fluoro range as well. I found that when I was cleaning up today and I was like, oops, I didn't mention that one. So that one's in there as well. Okay, so the last part of the demonstration, as I mentioned, I'm not going to do where I paint with them because I've already done that in another video. It does work. You can paint straight onto a mold and pour over the top. So the last part of the demonstration that I need to cover now is mixing the pigment paste directly into resin and then using that on a project. So I will see you for that part next. Okay, so final part is mixing the pastes into resin and doing a pour that way. So I thought it is very fitting. I got this Wanderlust mold from Star Child Designs. Excuse me. And considering the situation in Australia at the moment, I thought this would be very on topic, would it not? I'm going to turn it into a fridge magnet, okay? But because it is a Wanderlust theme, we're going to try and do a beach, okay? Now I want you to let me know in the comments whether I've made the right choice with the color of sand, because I am going with bright gold. Okay, I also have pineapple yellow that I could have used, so let me know in the comments whether you use yellow or gold for the beach. But we're going to have a go. I've never done a mold. I mean, I've done coasters, but I've never done a mold like this before as a beach, so we're going to give it a crack. But I'm using bright gold, I'm using the platinum white, the pearl white, sorry, the light blue. I'm not going to add any teal into the water. I'm just going to go 4 colors because I already used the teal on the cup. This one is Bondi Blue and then Bluebird. Okay, so all together I'm hoping to make a beach. So going from back to front, we're going to go Bluebird. I'm not going to put my resin disclaimer in because we already did that at the beginning of the video. So if you have skipped through, please make sure you go back and just watch that little safety disclaimer that I put in. So the Bluebird is done. That's going to be our deep blue of our ocean. Next is Bondi Blue. Get rid of that. Just a nice scoop. Straight into my resin. Now, because this is going to be a magnet, it doesn't need to be a doesn't need food safe resin. I am using the casting resin that I like to use for molds, and that is Platinum Superclear from AA Composites. Now I will, as always, leave the links in the description of everything that I use, but I am using a different resin for this than I do for all of my tumblers and coasters and glasses and stuff. But that is Bondi Blue. Which I'm getting everywhere. Okay, now the pearl white. Which we only want a little bit of. Resin wise, I mean. So I'm not going to put as much pigment in it. Make sure that that's mixed through. make sure I don't put them out of order because I won't even notice till after it's poured, honestly. And the last one is the bright gold, which I did and ah with the yellow. Did I want it to look, you know how you do, I don't want to say cartoony, right? But there is a very big aesthetic difference between beach art that uses gold and beach art that uses yellow. And no one is better than the other, but they just look differently, which is why I was a little bit stuck as to what I wanted to have on a magnet. Alright, but gold won out in the end. Just make sure it's all mixed in really well. Okay, now I'm going to move it this way, and I'm going to start with my sand first. Go my dark blue at the other end. Then the Bondi Blue. And then my white. About here. Okay, so now that I've got my layers building, I'm going to go back and start filling the mold. I didn't measure out my mold this time because it's only a new one and I've been a bit lazy. But usually good ways of measuring molds to see how much epoxy they will use. When you first get them, have a little 10 ml syringe that you can get from the chemist that you use for like kids Panadol and stuff like that, and just squirt water into your molds at 10 ml at a time. And then you record how many mils it took to fill the mold. I have a spreadsheet on my computer. I have a little Excel spreadsheet, or Google spreadsheet. It's not Excel, it's Google, of all my molds. Well, when it's up to date, it's supposed to be all of my molds and how much epoxy that they hold. But I mean, I'm going to have a fair bit of the Bluebird left over. I haven't done too badly wasting the other colours. I'm going to move my shoreline down a little bit. Okay, now hopefully that hasn't messed it too much on the other side. But I'm just going to go in. Hopefully blend that white through to make it look more like a shoreline, but we're not gonna know until we demold it. So time will tell, but that is my attempt at the beach. I'm gonna give it a bit of a spritz. No, I won't, because my bottle's not working. Spray, please. There we go. See, sometimes you just gotta use your manners. Okay, I'm going to leave that overnight. I will come back and show you what the other side looks like. But that is the LBB resin pigment pastes mixed into resin, and thus is the end of the demonstration. But yes, I will demold this in the morning and show you what the other side looks like and show you in better lighting, because this, I mean, this just isn't bringing up. Maybe if I turn the light off. No, wrong way. No, that's even worse. They do have, oh, that's a bit better. They do have a pearl to them. Right, so they are a lot prettier to the naked eye. So I'm going to show you at the end, okay? See you in the morning. Alright guys, so this is what we ended up with. This is the 15-ounce skinny that we did with our herringbone pattern. It's now got its first coat of resin on it, and I'm thinking about putting some kind of water slide on the other side. I'm not sure yet. I will see if I can find something that matches the colours, but that is, let's put it this way, that is what it looks like when it is encased in its first coat of resin, and I am still loving that colour combo. Okay, so that's our 15-ounce. Now this worked, but I was a little bit impatient. If you see up in this corner here, I was a little bit impatient when when I say we, I mean me, because there's nobody else here. But when I unmolded it, I was a little bit eager to unmold it to see if it actually worked. So I did stuff up the corner here, but I'm not too worried because this is going on my mum's fridge anyway. Let's be honest, the thing with mums is that we can decorate a paper lunch bag and they would still be impressed with our artwork. So I don't think she's going to care all of that much. But I am going to turn this into a magnet. But as you can see, our beach worked. We've got the bright gold, then the pearl white, then the Bondi blue, and then finishing off with the bluebird. So you can see the two shades of the blue there. And then I went in, maybe if I turn this off, you can see it a little bit better when it focuses. There we go. I then went into the actual design itself and used the same teal that we used on this cup to fill in. So that is the pigment pastes when they are mixed into resin. That is our pigment pastes when they are painted straight onto a cup. And that concludes my demonstration of the LBB resin pigment pastes. Okay, so just to recap the colours on the 15-ounce, we used the plum purple and the rose gold with the teal and the graphite. And on this one, we went with the bright gold, the pearl white, the Bondi blue, and the bluebird. And then I finished it off with the same teal that's on the cup. Again, let me know if you think I made the right call by using the bright gold and not the pineapple yellow. I think it looks really cool. I'm going to have another crack at it, and like obviously because I was filming I was a little bit impatient and I wanted to see how it worked out. Now that I've used the mould and I know what it looks like, I think I'm going to make a couple more of these. But that is the LBB resin pigment paste demonstration. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I do take requests, or if you are an Australian supplier and you'd like me to check out your products, you're welcome to PM me. All of my links are in the description. I don't ask ever for anything for free. I'm more than happy to place an order with you. I just need to know that you exist. One of my favorite things to do is just throw, you know, $30, $50, $75, whatever your way, and have you put together a mystery pack for me to try. So if you are an Australian craft supplier, doesn't matter what kind of craft supplier, make sure you get in touch with me and I would be more than happy to try out your product, give you an honest review and put you up on my channel so everybody else can find you. But that concludes this demonstration. Thank you all for joining me once again, and I will see you next. Next upload will be our Christmas in July mini-series, which is a 3-part live series that I then edit to put onto my channel so you guys can enjoy it as well. But that is happening live this week over in Aussie Tumbler Makers and Crafters. So I hope to see you there if you are a member. If you're not, please check out the mini-series when it's uploaded, and I will catch you next time. Bye guys!